when Ben was 17 years old, he was arrested for doing, you know what? Bad shit to another girl. And you know what he's been trying to do all these months on social media, because he didn't want me to find it? Well, he's been going on all these internet sites, right, to try to hide his name so he can never come up in the searches. So you guys remember Bend Over, right? You know, the shithead that was making the tricks with bricks and doing the dim mac in the Home Depot aisle like an asshole.
We came to the US. I started eating at a Chinese restaurant. The owner was, for me, Master Shifu. When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me.
And now he thinks he's gonna fight in the Kumite. So he started training like he's gonna fight Chun-Li. Except he's not fighting nobody. He's just doing it for the attention.
He would teach me Kung Fu. And I was 10 years old, so I learned how to move with like Kung Fu, you know? Eventually, the owner fell in love with me, and he said, that kid is special. It was different, and I loved it.
Well, while that's all going on, his hero, his idol, and his imaginary mentor, Andrew Tate, just got arrested again. And he's crying about it like a little bitch.
The Tate brothers just got arrested in Miami. And you know what's really crazy about this? That they've been speaking about it for a very long time. If you remember, 3 years ago, I got on the internet to support them because more strong men need support more than ever before, because strong men are being taken down.
And not only that, he thinks he's so famous now that he's putting himself not only in the same sentence as Andrew Tate, but Charlie Kirk too. What does poor Charlie have to do with it?
Take a look at Charlie. Got taken out. Trump got shot at. The Tate brothers go to jail. I get banned every single day. Eventually, what's going to happen? They'll try to put me in jail, or possibly try to take care of me. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, Andrew is a very smart man, and I'm not going to get into all the accusations against him. I don't know the truth, or we'll find out. But I will say this, what he says is so powerful, and let's emphasize on that. What Andrew Tate is doing is he's communicating a warning of what happens when society becomes too feminine. We are seeing the American man, porn addicted, lowest testosterone rates in 30 or 40 years, least married, least purpose, most suicidal in history. Why? It's because our society is configured towards collapsing the American man.
And this is exactly what me, Andrew Tate, and Charlie Kirk, we're fighting to strengthen men. We want men to be stronger and better than they ever have. We can't do that if we're on here and showing you that we're strong and you want to bring us down because you feel like we're above you.
So Benny Bend Over, that asshole piece of shit. You guys saw what he's up to. His same old shit, gallivanting online like an asshole to try to get famous for being a nobody. And you guys know, he wants the fame. I'm gonna give it to him, but it's not gonna be the fame he wants. And he made a big mistake again. You know what he did? He f***ed with me trying to take down my Instagram. And you would have thought that this asshole would have learned not to f*** with me no more, because how many times did I have to bend him over in front of the world to see? And you know what I did? I went digging again. And every time I dig some shit up on this asshole and I go looking, I find some crazy shit. And you know what I found now? In 2007, when he was 17 years old and before he did all that bad shit to that girl, right? He did even more bad shit to another girl, and he was arrested. And now, Benny, are you ready to get bent over again? 'Cause I'm about to do it. And wait until you see this shit.
You have to understand that me, Charlie, and Andrew, we are a symbol of resistance to the system, to the shit that's keeping us suppressed. They hold us in golden cages, make you believe that your life is fine. But as a man, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, which is hold a family, support, provide, protect. I was suffering. I was being suppressed. Now I'm getting more hate than ever before. Why? Because I'm here to tell you that you could be better and stronger. I want you to think for yourself. Open your mind. I'm here to make your life better.
So before I start going in on this asshole again, just like I was saying in the introduction, I don't want to give this guy any type of fame that he wants. So the only time you catch me making a video is when I can expose him for the real piece of shit he is. And nothing pisses me more off than when people online give him the attention that he wants. Jake Shields, you guys know him. The UFC fighter, right? He's training some guy, right? Gypsy Crusader, that Ben is pretending he's gonna fight. But I know he's not fighting shit. It's all for free exposure, right? And even Jake Shields is taking part of this.
Yeah, I see you, huh?
It feels like we're fighting now. They got us here. What are you doing?
Well, we talked last time, and now I see you're training Gypsy, huh? You're training the clown?
Knock you the f out.
Yeah, you think he's gonna knock me
I
out?
know he's gonna knock you out.
And that's why I called him out for kickboxing. I want to fight in his field.
I'll give you respect for that.
So he can't say that I'm not the one that's going to fight the same way that he fights. He can't come to me and say, hey, you know, this was boxing. It's not my fight.
Hey,
No.
I'll give you credit for both if you show up.
I'll show up.
I'm a little skeptical if you show up through betting monsters.
So you can bet whatever you want. We can bet whatever you want. I guarantee you. But I guarantee you one thing. First round, he's going to knock the f*** out.
Oh.
First round. Did you see how he was gassed out? Huh?
He had no training. I tried to set him up. He's gonna fuck you up.
Let's see how you're going to train him now. Let's see how you play him through the
I'm trying to live enough to say that he f*** you up.
You think so? Okay. Let's see.
Let's say good
I'll
luck.
be happy.
I want you to get f***ed up. So,
Well, good luck to you guys. Because I already know exactly how it's going to end. All right?
see you next month.
All right.
So again, everybody who's watching, everybody who makes videos on this piece of shit, stop giving him the attention that he wants, because like I've said many times on social media, this asshole's not fighting nobody. He's doing all this shit to get free exposure. So Benny, one day, while he was bending over, thought, he wants to get rid of some people online. So you know what he did? He went and started falsely copywriting Instagram posts of JD Delay, because he hates JD because he's got the biggest reach and JD says a lot of crazy shit about him, right? So Benny hates JD and he hates me. And he started reporting and taking down my posts too. And when he did that, I'm like, listen, like I said, do you really think you want me digging for your bullshit again? Because every time I've ever dug, I found crazy shit. And this time was no different. I found a lot of crazy shit. So when I went digging, the first one that I found was a really good one. In 2014, he had a charge, right? And the charge was screwing up an innkeeper, right? And then getting loud. And I started looking into it, and I remembered, you guys remember how much this asshole loves to go to the Chinese restaurants and find the old man to fall in love with him and taste his cream of some young guy?
And I would come to him. He would move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. I was 10 years old. So I learned how to move with like Kung Fu,
Yeah.
It was different. And I loved it.
Well, you know what Benny did one day? After he was done, he was sick of that one, he wanted to switch it up to find a new old man. He went to another restaurant and he found another old man and he told him, you want to teach me Kung Fu? You want to taste my cream of some young guy? Well, you know what happened? That old man, he told Benny, I don't want to taste any of your cream of some young guy. So get the fuck out of here. Benny got mad, he started yelling, and he ran off, and he didn't even pay his bill. The next day, the restaurant pressed charges on him. And like usual, we've seen Ben do this all the time, he didn't want to take the charge, so he took a plea bargain. So now, let's take a look at the really bad one that I found. In 2007, remember the crime that he did on that girl? Well, he was convicted of, right? Doing bad shit. I'm not going to say exactly what he did. You guys all know it by now. Before that crime, in 2007, when Ben was 17 years old, he was arrested for doing, you know what? Bad shit to another girl. And you know what he's been trying to do all these months on social media, because he didn't want me to find it? Well, he's been going on all these internet sites, right, to try to hide his name so he can never come up in the searches. But if you're like me and you know how to find shit and you have good connections and you have good lawyers, you can get anything. So this girl that he with when he was 17 years old, right? She was so scared of this asshole, she had to get a restraining order, not just for her, but her whole family and even her 3-year-old sister. That's what kind of a maniac this is. All right, so this is the restraining order that this girl, which was his girlfriend at the time when he was 17 years old, placed upon him for his crazy sick behavior. And take a look at the date here, September 17th, 2007, which was a whole year prior to the other case that was opened where he was convicted of doing those things to that other girl. And if you take a look here, this order was granted for 5 years. So September 17th, 2007 to September 16th, 2012, which was the maximum in California ordered on him. And if you take a look here at all the people that were protected, was the mother, the father, herself, and the 3-year-old sister. So the girl was scared that Ben is so crazy that he was going to come after her sister too, that's 3 years old. So now this is where she describes the first time that Ben abused her. It says 8/15/07, and who was there? Ben and her. And it says, what did this person do or say that made you afraid? Hit in the face, head and legs, pulled my hair, struck me repeatedly, yelled, name called, verbal abuse, verbal intimidation. He chased me in his vehicle and struck my vehicle repeatedly, tried to open the back passenger door, and followed me to the Lost Hills police station where he was arrested and detained. Describe any use or threatened use of guns or other weapons. Guns and baseball bat present in his vehicle. How did this have guns at 17 years old? And baseball bats, I mean, that's what we got in New York, the Louisville Slugger, because you can't have guns. This asshole had both of them. Notice she checks off where it says, check here if this person has abused you or your children other times. And now it's going to get into it on the next page. And it says, describe other recent abuse. What did this person do or say that made you afraid? Pulled my hair and struck me once in the head. Then it says, describe other abuse against you or your children. Approximately 10 consecutive incidents of physical abuse. This was a chronic problem. Also repeatedly threatened to kill. I'm not going to say his name, that's her ex-boyfriend, and she states, my ex-boyfriend. And then on the next page it says, describe the second most recent abuse. And she writes, he threatened himself, verbal abuse, slapped me twice in the face, grabbed me by the neck in his hands, threatened to hurt me even more. He was extremely angry and enraged, proceeded to hit things around the room. And this is where the judge granted the restraining order, protecting her, her family, and her 3-year-old sister from this sicko. And he granted it for 5 years, which is the maximum amount of time in the state of California. And if you take a look at the order further, it says he can harass, attack, strike, threaten, assault, hit, follow, stalk, destroy personal property, disturb the peace, keep under surveillance, or block movements. And he can't contact them, obviously. And again, the stay away order is from me, my home, the people listed in it, my vehicle, the children's school or childcare. Again, she's got a 3-year-old. She's scared this sick's gonna show up to the school. So Benny, I'm gonna tell you here, just like I told you behind the scenes when I told you personally, right, months ago. I said, you want to be this example of a man to teach these kids to be real men, right? Well, you know what the first thing about being a man is? It's learning to admit your mistakes, not trying to run around and cover them up with some bullshit stories.
Next time you see this dipshit talking online about being an alpha, high-value, assassin millionaire, or whatever nonsense cosplay he's spewing that day, just remember, a California court called him a violent threat who needed to stay the hell away from an entire family for 5 years.
And I want to see now how you're going to react to this one. Are you going to make 5 videos, 10 videos, all with different stories saying this is all bullshit like you did the last time? Because the real men, they don't do that kind of bullshit behavior. They admit to their mistakes and they don't go running around hiding them. Now let's see what you're going to really do now, you piece of shit. And then also, are you going to still fuck with me? Guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like on my video.